Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew, where family's everything.
Until it's not. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Aunt. Oh, God. The
I'm,
show
f-
got a little bit, it was like a little bit more dramatic and fun and like
well, yeah, because there's
JT,
nothing like a good
JT.
tuba concert.
And JT can like stirs the pot.
It makes this show so much better. But as we know, he's left. And I'll say
Yes.
after this episode, I can see why.
Yeah.
Because there's a pile on that's unnecessary. And I mean, Madison and Austin come off really, really petty with them.
They do. And
Really.
also, we all
Especially where
know
it
that
was
the
a lie.
producers are taking like the fresh blood ears of JT and they're
Mm.
like, bring this up, bring it up, go do that, go do that. And he's like really
Needy.
not. And that's why I feel like when JT acts out, Whitney's not there. Because I feel like it would be easy for JT to turn behind the camera and be like, you're, and
Oh,
I,
you think that's why Whitney disappears when things get funny?
yeah, because like he's
Oh, he
stirring the
could be
pot and he
because
tells people
Whitney
and
shows
he
up.
leaks
Yeah.
the like the creative day-to-day producers to be like, oh, I heard this that someone told me. And so then that producer goes over to JT and is like, probably, hey, I heard that you know that like,
Oh, you're right.
that
Because
what's
he
his
always
name?
leaves. Hmm.
That like, what's Taylor's boyfriend's name again? That
Gaston.
Oh yeah, Gaston, duh, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
That like I heard
They're
you
like
know
Beauty
something
and the
about
Beast.
Gaston, you know about
Yeah.
something about his past, like, and it's like then they pull it out. Whereas Madison be like, I don't know where you heard that, and she'd lie to the producer because she knows that when you're honest, it doesn't get you anywhere. So she'd
Well,
be like,
that's
I
for
don't know what
sure.
you're talking about, and
Hmm.
then like or play hard to get and be like, maybe, maybe not. You're not gonna get it from me. Whereas JT's like, maybe I do. Like, are you gonna give me a season three? Like
Yeah.
now he doesn't want to be on it at all. But like that's what I think Leva
Well, I
means.
can't
They
blame
all
him.
meant at the end when they're like time and place, yada yada. They're just not breaking the fourth wall. They're saying like, you tell her that off camera. You don't say that on camera. You fool.
Yeah, but why do you think Craig is so visceral about why does he storm off with JT? Like I didn't understand Craig's reaction. Didn't make any sense to me at all.
Because I think
And then
that
like, "Oh, I went and fished with you." What does that have to do with anything that's going on right now? What we did 3 days ago on a TV reality show?
I wonder if there's any truth to any of the rumors of like Paige having another guy or something, and maybe Craig
Oh,
like so hearing like, oh,
maybe
when
it's
he was
JT?
dating, no,
Do you
no,
think
like
it
when
could be JT?
Gaston,
Maybe
no,
wouldn't that be
no,
wonderful if JT was dating Paige?
Paige would lose her mind. What I'm saying more is maybe Craig has heard some of the like Paige. I don't believe Paige would ever do that to Craig. I think Paige is too smart and she's too like just seems like a decent human being and like just has a good head on her shoulders. But my
Okay.
whole point is Craig might get lost in the comment section. Oh, she doesn't want to move because she's like with this, like that. So then when you hear Craig or when you hear JT be like, oh, Gaston was like his ex, like did that, like he was with her before when he had a girlfriend, all this. You never know if like Craig has like insecurities in his own brain about like
Oh,
infidelity because he doesn't live where
with
his girlfriend
Paige.
is. She's very big right now. She has a big following.
Or maybe
I
with him.
or projecting, you never know.
All right.
So
It could be with him. Yeah.
exactly. So I just think that could have been it. And it's kind of like how we saw Kyle go crazy. Like sometimes you
Yeah.
go
Well,
crazy when
Kyle,
you know something or you act something or you like, and so I don't know. It just,
true.
for
Yeah.
me, like, I don't like the whole,
Well, I don't like Taylor.
what I like about the Housewives is that you can connect links and they're all friends through all those links. I don't like it in these other shows like the off brand of the Housewives or like the, MTV2 to MTV kind of the Housewives these other shows is that when someone's not fitting in, it's very obvious. When someone
Very
is not
obvious.
welcomed, it's very obvious. Whereas with the girls, they can do, I feel like the producers like will put activities around where it's like they're going to lunch, they're getting their nails done, they're getting massages. There's seven of them. One can be on one side, one can be on the other, but they're still getting a massage. They're really happy. Or they're at a cocktail party. Like there's ways to spread out and it's like they intermingle, they're connected. These
Yeah.
casts,
But
they're
even the,
bigger and
yeah.
they stand out like black sheep.
Yeah. But even in the housewives, there are wives who don't fit in no matter how
Yeah.
much they try. They do.
Yeah.
Like Brittany doesn't completely fit in with Salt Lake. They're always going to treat her a certain way. Um, they did it with Brandy a little bit.
Yeah,
She was
yeah, of
always on the
course,
outs a little bit.
but I guess maybe there's just it's a different type of show where like maybe it's the women are just they know how it feels to be the one on the bottom. They know the one that everyone's
Maybe
talking about.
they
They know
if
the
they
one that's
care.
going through the hard thing
Well,
in the
some of them
marriage.
don't know what it's like to be on the bottom though, at
Some of them
all. They've
don't, but
never
that's
been.
because they tirelessly work to stay on top.
Yeah, they do. They make a point of
But
it.
my point is that maybe there's a tiny bit of empathy, even when, I feel like maybe there's things where like Teresa's felt like how Melissa feels. So even though Teresa's not thinking about Melissa in the moment, there's something Teresa wouldn't do to any housewife in Bravo because she didn't like it when it was done to her. I don't know what that is, but my point is that like
Okay.
they have barriers because there's a lot of them. There's 100 housewives, all these things.
True.
These casts are very much like there's one Craig, there's one JT, there's one
Yeah,
Austin. And so like
true.
when JT's standing out, it's like you're not part of like it's harder to blend, it's harder to fit in, it's harder
Way
to
harder.
merge in.
Way harder. And you know what? Whitney was out of doubt got the sperm and egg
Oh yes, championship.
lottery. No, he hit the lottery of
Yeah.
sperm and egg because I am not sure what he does in life. And I mean, he's not a kid. He's like 58 years
And he
old.
drinks all the time. He's got his
He's
whole
got
whiskey. Like he's
he's
not
got
doesn't seem like the most healthy individual. He kind of
and he
looks a little
doesn't
tired and run over like a crow.
I mean, if that's his act with his mother, I don't know. But I mean, I know he's the producer of the show,
He's
but
like
besides that,
Eeyore.
he like has no redeeming qualities either.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
Shep
like
better be
Eeyore mixed
careful.
with Rabbit. Agitated and like gloom, like the
He is
like
gloomy.
like Rabbit.
And
Rabbit and Winnie the Pooh is very agitated and like annoyed a
right,
lot.
yeah.
Eeyore is very down and droopy. He's a mixture of the two,
Oh,
and it's not pleasant
bother.
to be around.
Yeah, yeah, it's not he's not
It
a
doesn't
pleasant
seem
personality,
healthy.
Whitney. No, he's not. He's snide and he's a bit nasty.
Yeah.
And it's
As
funny
your mother,
because
what your mother wouldn't have said this about Whitney. He doesn't have much character.
he doesn't have much. He has style,
Yeah, he's
but he
an
doesn't have
antique.
character. He's yeah, yeah. Shep better be careful because he could be Whitney. Trust fund, no real anything ever in life.
Listen,
He could be. I'm just saying.
Whitney is like an antique lamp inside a like Newport mansion. The mansion is like the real eccentric thing, and he's just this small little piece of it. He's
Yeah,
not the
you're
big
right. That's
personality. He
perfect.
doesn't
That's a
have it.
perfect
Like,
analogy.
yeah, he's
Perfect
not,
analogy.
he doesn't have character. He doesn't have
He just is it
multi-dimensions. He's not
right.
vulnerable. He doesn't share his life. Like none of it.
No,
Now, he's the
no.
creator of the show, but my whole thing is like uh, it's just weird, I guess. We went on a tangent about Whitney, but it was more about his sperm. That's what we were talking about.
Well, you know what though, and I'm sick of Taylor always being so she's just the victim. She has such a victim mentality.
Well, it's like Taylor, you were the victim when you were with Shep, and now what? You think that because like you're not with Shep, your relationship shouldn't be up on your relationship, not shit. Ooh, Freudian slip. Shouldn't be brought up on the show. It's like, no, honey, like
No,
you can
it's
pick
still
the
yeah.
show or you can pick a drama-free
Again,
private
the
relationship.
again, the way she reacted was disproportionate. That was a thread through all the shows this week. Their reactions were disproportionate to what actually happened.
We're starting to see that like every week there's like something that happens. Like, and it's across the board. Do you think Bravo does that on purpose?
Maybe because a lot of them, I mean, like,
Because we see the previews when we're watching it, and if you're into it, you're into it. You see the crazy meets crazy meets crazy.
maybe because I think that I said Craig gaslights. I think Bronwyn gaslights. We know Bryn gaslights. Dorit had history of gaslighting in the past too, where she'd say things
There
happened
was one
that
a
didn't
couple
re
weeks ago that you kept harping on. We're
what
like,
that
we saw
Dorit
this in
did.
every show.
Yeah, yeah.
It
I mean,
wasn't,
I don't remember now,
it
but
wasn't that.
it's
It wasn't gaslighting. It
but
was
there's
something else.
the thread. Now, I will say that they did one thing this week that I've never seen on another Bravo show.
What was that?
They had a tuba concert.
Oh, yes, they did. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
that
that.
I've never seen that before. And poor JT, he's having people over and he ordered, but he didn't put out a plate, a dish, silverware, napkins, and he's supposed to be the hospitality king with this event space. Wouldn't you think? I was very disappointed in JT in
I
that.
think JT is trying to create a career of being on the show. He wanted to be an Airbnb host. He wanted
Yeah,
to
you
be,
want this,
he wanted to
that,
be that.
that.
It's
But
like,
I
dude,
think
you have to come on the show with a career. You
Vanita
like Leva.
definitely has
Come
the
on the
hots
show
for him.
with your restaurants.
Yeah.
Like
But
that's when you can really be successful because you own that stuff first too.
Vanita has thoughts for him.
Yeah, but that's short lived. We already know it already fizzled. So
Oh, it did?
yeah, I think so.
It's
It's been
done?
out there. Yeah, it's been
Well,
out.
Craig, Shep told Sienna he loves her.
Good for him. He loves Bahamas too. I think he likes it. I
I
think he
know.
wants to
I
move
don't
there. I
think they're
think
together anymore either.
maybe
I don't
Molly's with him.
Molly, I don't okay, I'm gonna tell you what I wrote down here. Molly, Sally, and Rodrigo, I really just don't care about them.
Oh no, Molly's warming up. I think she's got good humor. I think we have to give her a shot.
I think Sally's more interesting, but it's
No,
hard
I
to
think
keep
Molly
them
and Sally are
apart.
both funny. Like Molly's so self-deprecating, but Rodrigo's a waste. Such a waste of a
Rodrigo is a waste.
such a waste of a homo. I can
Oh,
say
he's
that, guys.
such he's a but again,
Seriously, you
Taylor,
couldn't. I'd move down there. Put
always
me
the
on the
victim.
show.
Oh, who did Gaston sleep with? Because I lost track.
I don't know.
And I mean, he was with his girlfriend, and then he was with Sally, and then he was with Taylor while he was with Sally, or what? I mean, how many
I would have
girls
been
does
like,
he
if
have?
I was at that party, this is why you should trade me out for Rodrigo. If I had seen it all going down, I would have been
Oh,
like,
you would have
wait
been
a
in
minute,
on it.
guys. No one fucks like Gaston. No one lies like Gaston. No. And I'd start singing Beauty and the Beast. And they would have had content for days. But instead, you got Rodrigo being like, oh,
Oh, I know. Totally. I want to know. I
such
thought
a
one of the best
waste.
lines of
Fry
the
paper towel.
entire episode was when Shep started to say Gaston. Well, he's below her. He's not that good looking. It was so funny
Yeah,
because it's such
he's,
a typical. I mean, women do that all the time. Why is he going out with her? I'm
yep.
prettier than her, and blah 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 blah. And he just fell into. I just thought it was funny because we've never, in all of Shep's relationships, first of all,
Mhm.
most of them haven't been on the show and stuff. And he kind of is a butterfly and it goes from
Of
B to
course.
B to
Yeah.
B. Um, but now he's has her around Taylor, and they were together for a few years, and she's bringing a guy and he's judging him. I thought it was brilliant. I liked it. I don't hate Shep this week.
Huh.
Austin's driving me crazy because he's so sanctimonious.
You don't watch Kimmel, but what's her name was on it? Dorinda, and promoting traders.
Oh
And
yeah.
he asked her what her favorite moment in the trader's house was. I have to just share this.
Yeah,
And
what
she
was it?
said she was talking to Britney Spears' ex-husband, Sam Azari or
Yeah,
whatever his name
okay.
is.
Is that who's
Yeah.
on? Yeah.
Yeah, and he was saying,
I was
she
gonna
was like,
say
"Oh,
Federline.
she thought he was great." She's like, "So I was talking to this nice guy, Sam." And I was like, "So you're divorced?" And he was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Tough life I had, we were tough, not on the same page." Like she's like, "Oh, well, maybe we'll get back together." And he's like, "Nah, I don't think so." She has a lot going on and different things and like, just has a
She's
difficult
psycho. Yeah.
situation. And then Dorinda's like, "I'm sure that you guys can work through it." And like, just like again, like, do you want, you can always have me talk to her if you want. Like Dorinda's telling the story. And then the next day someone was like, Dorinda, that's Britney Spears'
He
ex.
didn't
And
know.
she had no idea. And
She
she was
didn't
just
know.
like,
She
okay,
didn't.
I guess you can ignore everything I shared.
I heard that Boston Rob is very good on traders.
I don't watch traders. I don't
Oh, I
understand.
don't
Too many
either. I
rules for
but I
me.
heard Boston Rob was great.
Who's
Um,
your mess?
um, I just want to say one thing about JT. I think he was trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I think he does it the wrong way. And for whatever reason, they've decided he's the one they're all going to attack as a
I
group.
also think that it's exactly what I said. Taylor would have wanted him to tell her privately.
Perhaps, but they're on a show together.
I
Do
know.
they
Get over
talk?
it.
Do they talk if they're not on the show?
And so
Who's a
she, in that
mess?
moment, imagine in
Craig.
that moment, she's like, he's mic'd up, I'm mic'd up, there's a camera. And that was just said, there's no way this isn't going to make the cut.
Yeah, of
And
course.
now I have to go tell my boyfriend
Yeah,
that one of the people on the show I'm on brought this up about him and his ex, yada, yada, yada. And it's
right.
like she just saw her whole relationship, everything flash before her eyes.
Yeah,
And so it's like, girl, like, you need
yeah.
to know like this is the stuff. Again, that's the kind of
How does her leaving in a fit?
Uber, a regular Uber too. They don't get Uber Black there.
How does it her having a hissy fit? How does that benefit her at all?
I don't know. What about her dropping a Caesar salad in her water and eating it? How does that benefit her?
Oh my gosh. See, this is where they're a mess. They're sort of a mess.
Taylor's
Who's a
my
mess?
mess.
Taylor's your mess?
Yeah, I
Well,
just can't
she's a
stand
mess, but
her.
I think Craig's more of a mess.
Yeah, but Craig is a great character and fixture on
He's
the
a
show, so I'm
great
okay.
character.
I'm okay
He's
with
a
Craig.
great
I'm done
character.
with JT.
But we
JT
did
doesn't have a spine. He doesn't have a backbone. He's
no,
too
well, he's
weak for
afraid of
TV.
water. Yeah,
Taylor is too obsessed with being famous and isn't ready to like be herself. And
true.
Rodrigo, the lights are on and no one's home. No one's been
Yeah,
home
so
for
they have too
years.
many dud characters
Yeah.
here. Um, I forget what I was gonna say. Oh well.
And
Oh,
like Rodrigo,
we saw some foreshadowing of Paige and Craig's issues because he
yes.
was talking to Shep about the fact that he doesn't, she says a couple of years, but in a couple of years, is she going to say another couple of years? And I don't want to
Nope.
wait 10 years.
It was only a couple months away, Craigie. But
I
anyhow,
know. All
love you
right.
guys. Follow us,
Bye.
subscribe us. Bye.